You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
It's a Thursday matinee here at the stadium. You see the participants. It is time for baseball as the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It's the New York Yankees against the Texas Rangers in the rubber game of a three-game set from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Yankees baseball. Along with John Flaherty and Paul O'Neill, I'm Michael Kay. Well, the Yankees won the first game of the series. They lost last night, and last night their pitching didn't get it done. And for the Rangers, two big guns really hurt the Yanks.
Well, they've got a 1-2 punch that's arguably one of the better in all of baseball. Adrian Beltre's really become a good player. 300 hitter coming into the series, 14 home runs. And again, these guys produce runs. Nelson Cruz, I'll tell you one thing, has got as much power as anybody in the American League. And last night we saw his 20th home run on a hanging breaking ball. No doubt about it. These guys can do a lot of damage in the middle of the lineup.
And they did yesterday. Let's take a look now at today's New York Lottery pitching matchup. Derek Holland will go for the Texas Rangers, and for the New York Yankees, it's Phil Hughes. And John, he's just got to pitch better than he's been pitching.
Well, this is a big start for Phil Hughes. Pineda is rehabbing in the minor leagues. Nova is on the roster, so he feels a little bit of pressure to have a good start. He has not had a good year against left-handed hitters. They're hitting over 300 against Phil Hughes. The righties, even when he makes a decent pitch, giving up a lot of hits. The one thing we have seen from Phil, he doesn't have that one pitch to put away hitters, but there is a lot of pressure and expectations on him to turn his season around today.
He'd like some offensive support, that's for sure, and a guy who's been doing that for the Yankees has been Ichiro Suzuki. He has been their hottest hitter. How's he doing it? What is he doing? We'll find out from Paul O'Neill when we return right here on Yes. Has been Ichiro Suzuki. Check it out. Last 13 games, 373, 3 home runs. That's unusual for him. 7 ribbies, 6 runs scored, 7 stolen base, and he's raised his average from 254 to 278. Welcome back to the booth, everybody. That's Paul O'Neill. I'm Michael Kay. John Flaherty will rejoin us in just a moment. What's the deal with Ichiro? 39 years old, and he's still raking.
Well, he's been hot lately. There's no doubt about it. He got off to kind of a tough start. But, I mean, he's a veteran player, a future Hall of Famer, a career 300 hitter. And you see why. Because he can cover so many pitches. And every once in a while, we've seen the last couple days, he'll look to pull. And he has the power to hit the ball out of here in clutch situations. He's had 2 big home runs. And I tell you what, the way the offense is, when he can add this, it's only going to help the Yankees.
All right, let's see what he does today in an afternoon matinee at the stadium. When we come back, lineups, first pitch, baseball, Yankees, Rangers, right here on Yes. Yes, it is brought to you in part by Jaguar. See the new model year lineup at JaguarUSA.com. By White House Down, in theaters tomorrow. And by the Experience Buick lease. It's a new lease on luxury. Kind of a hot, humid Thursday afternoon here at Yankee Stadium. And Phil Hughes is on the mound, about to take his warm-up. So why don't we take a look at the Rangers starting lineup? Ron Washington put this together. Ian Kinsler at second base will lead off, batting second. And playing shortstop, Elvis Andrus. Nelson Cruz in right field will bat third. Cleaning up the DH, Adrian Beltre. Mitch Moreland at first base will bat fifth. Batting sixth and catching, Giovanni Soto. David Murphy is in left field. He'll bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing third base, Jurickson Profar. And in center field, yes, it's spelled E-N-G-E-L, but it's Angel Beltre in his first big league start.
Well, that lineup for the Texas Rangers is going to face Phil Hughes, who's trying to get back on track after a couple of rough starts. And we'll look at his numbers, 3-6. The ERA now over 5, 86 hits in 76 innings. We'll look at our pitcher scouting report, which is brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. And you wonder if he's pitching for a rotation spot. You have Nova on this roster now, Pineda in the minor leagues rehabbing. And like I said, he's gone through a rough stretch lately over his last 7 starts, 1-4, the ERA at 5.88. And the lefties have been beating him up, a batting average over 300 with 9 home runs. He needs to do a better job against the left-handed hitters.
Well, if you're catching, I mean, what do you do to get out left-handed hitters? Obviously, he's kind of hanging that slider, which is a good pitch for lefties. Doesn't have a true sinker that's really going to get you out.
My first thought is more changeups. You know, I think he has a better changeup than he believes he does. And if he throws it more to lefties, maybe a little bit more success.
Let's check out the defense behind the Yankee right-hander. In the outfield, it's Almonte, Ichiro, and Wells. Nothing wrong with Gardner. Just a day off. That's left to right. Infield, Gonzalez, Nix, Adams, and Overbay. Cano is a DH today, so Adams playing second, his natural position. Austin Romine behind the plate. We told you about Phil Hughes on the mound. Big start for him. No one's coming out and saying it, but John mentioned it during the open. There are people waiting in the wings, and if Hughes gets hit hard again today, there's a chance he could be taken out of the rotation. He's ready. Kinsler is ready. And let's do it here in the Bronx. First pitch is a fastball strike, and we're underway.
Michael, you said it, nobody's mentioning it, but I'll tell you what, Phil Hughes is sensing it because there are guys coming back on the way. And you know, as a player, you got to get the job done because your spot might be in a little bit of trouble.
We got Ivan Nova in the clubhouse with no scheduled start, coming off a very good start. So he is hovering.
It's funny, when you're the player, you can kind of connect the dots. You can see what's going on behind closed doors. Joe Girardi has got a lot of decisions to make with pitching and with Almonte and Vernon Wells. There's some things that he's going to have to continue to juggle for this team to run smoothly and stay in this American League East.
And there are some players who probably don't look themselves in the mirror and realize I'm not getting the job done. Phil Hughes is not one of those guys. He's very honest about his performances when he has a tough outing.
Michael, your pregame, you said it's kind of hot and humid. It's smoking out here today.
I didn't want to turn people off.
Well, that's why the people here are enjoying themselves, but the people listening to us are in the air conditioning. I think it's great.
1-2. High fly ball. And Ichiro will make the play for the first out. Well, Paul brought it up, so let's look at the game time weather presented by Big OT. 82 degrees is not exactly smoking, Paul, but 61% humidity. That's what makes it seem very, very hot. Not much wind. It's partly cloudy, and there's late rain possible, which could derail that flight to Cincinnati.
Get out of here, man. I don't even want to think about it. I went through that last time in town.
I'm going to get you one of those fans, Paul.
Look at that. That's big league there. Huh?
Here's Elvis Andrus. Fouled away. Yankees won the first game of the series, and yesterday it was Texas's chance. So this is The game that decides the series, the 0-1. 1-1. Right-handers at 265 against him. And lefty's a 303 clip. After this game, the Yankees start a road trip. They'll be in Baltimore starting tomorrow night. 3 games there against the Orioles, and then 4 games in Minneapolis against the Twins. The 2-1. There's a strike. 2-2. Yankees baseball is available in Spanish by hitting the SAP button on your television. SAP is brought to you by Infinity. Lined into left field. Almonte is there. 2 down.
Well, again, outs are good, but sometimes when they're loud outs, you wonder, what lies ahead. What kind of pitches is he making? That ball hit right on the nose. Just happened to be at Almonte.
Well, you wonder what's the pitch that's going to get a swing and a miss when you need it. That's a problem for Phil Hughes. Is it the curveball, the slider, the changeup? Tough time putting hitters away.
And that's one of the culprits with the high pitch counts for Phil Hughes, because he gets to 2 strikes and then hitters just keep fouling it off, building up the count. Cruz with 20 home runs, tied with Adam Dunn. Chris Davis sits atop the leaderboard. Worm burner to short. Nix is there. Cruz is out. And a 1-2-3 inning for Phil Hughes and the Yankees. Rangers nothing, and the New York Yankees coming back. Presented by Lexus that he is going to face. It's a different lineup. Ichiro Suzuki is in center field. He'll lead off. Batting second and playing shortstop, Jason Nix. Robinson Cano gets half the day off. He'll DH. He'll hit third. Cleaning up the right fielder, Vernon Wells. Zoilo Almonte moves up to fifth. He'll be the left fielder. Lyle Overbay is the sixth batter, playing first. David Adams at second base at seventh. Batting eighth and playing third base, Alberto Gonzalez. And Austin Romine will catch, and he is going to bat ninth.
Well, Joe Girardi sending that lineup out there day game after a night game to face the lefty Derek Holland for the Texas Rangers, and having a solid season so far in the rotation. We'll take a look at his numbers. It'll be his 16th start, 5-4, and the ERA a very impressive 3.43. Look at our pitcher scouting report brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Had a good last start, gave up 3 runs in the first inning, but ended up with 4 earned runs over 7, so he definitely regrouped, and pitching with an extra day of rest, which is good news for him. He's 4-0 with a 2.55 in 8 starts with extra rest this year, and he keeps the ball in the ballpark. Only 1 road home run against him. We'll see if he can do that here at the hitter-friendly Yankee Stadium.
It's quite a challenge. Guys, I know it's early. You probably haven't noticed. Big day over in the first base coaching box. Charlie Wansowitz making his major league debut on the field.
Wow.
Number 87, starting at defensive end. But Mick Kelleher went over to third. Robbie Thompson went home for his daughter's graduation. And this was a big day. Charlie does so much behind the scenes. And his major league debut out there.
He must be very excited.
Oh, absolutely. His son told him, "You're playing first base. Don't make any errors." He's like, "No, I'm coaching first base." Little different.
Another base hit for Ichiro. A 7-game hitting streak. He has been on fire.
And Charlie's got action early. Look at this. He's going to inform Ichiro.
You know what he's going to tell him? Don't get picked off.
Yeah, really. Don't do anything today. Just stay where you are. Jared Holland lefty kind of slings one out there, but keeps it up. And Ichiro, I tell you what, we went over it in the pregame, Michael. He can handle every pitch the other way, and every once in a while he'll cheat in, which he has the past couple days. That's why he's had so much success in his career.
Now, the Yankees have been doing this a lot, especially over the last 2 weeks. They'll bunt in the first inning to move a runner up. Let's see if Nix does that against Holland. And he bunts. And again, I scratch my head.
Well, you look like a genius, though. You brought it up before it happened. I mean,
but you don't want to know bad things.
Looks like he was kind of on his way running. But again, I agree with you to a certain extent that, you know, Ichiro can steal a base. And, you know, as a hitter, sometimes you can square around a bunt and the guy can steal, and you kind of bring the bat back late to try to fool the catcher, and a lot of things can happen.
You know, I was just thinking maybe a week ago, 10 days ago, the Yankees really scuffling offensively. It's gotten a little bit better. It's still not great, but you're just giving up an out instead of the possibility of a big first inning. And like I talked about in that scouting report, Holland, his last time out, gave up 3 runs in the first inning and then really settled down.
See, that's my complaint, John. I guess I'm greedy. Well, what are you settling for 1 run? I mean, try to really blow the game open. Bunt is off there, and that doesn't necessarily mean that it's called by Girardi. That could be what Jason Nix is thinking. I'm going to lay down a bunt.
Many times, Derek Jeter in the 2-hole, he'll bunt on his own a lot. And sometimes just to get you in the game, you don't feel well off a pitcher or something. You want to try to set up a run scoring opportunity.
Well, you know what I think about with Jason? He's been a backup, a role player his whole career. Well, now at this point in his career, he's an everyday guy, but you wonder if he's still taking that mentality, a productive at bat, you know, a sacrifice bunt, something productive. Now the difference is you're number 2 hitter in this lineup playing every day. Hit the ball the other way, try to shoot that hole.
Popped up. Moreland gives it a look. A couple of rows back.
Don't know much about Soto behind the plate. Flash, you might be able to comment on this, on how good he is at throwing the baseball. Przinsky, you know, threw out Gardner the other night in a big situation. So has a lot to do with, you know, base stealers. That's the scouting report. Backup catchers usually pretty good defensively.
Yeah, opponents have stolen 7 of 12 bases, so not bad for Soto. Remember him a while ago, Rookie of the Year, wasn't he? Kind of fallen off.
Fly ball. Beltre coming on, makes the play. Why don't we check out the defense? In the outfield, it's Murphy, Beltre, and Cruz. It's left to right. Infield, Profar, Andrews, Kinsler, and Moreland third to first. Soto behind the plate, and Holland on the mound. Here's Cano. Lately, Cano has been taking the walk more and just passing the baton, and it then becomes important for the guy behind him to produce.
His at-bats have been better. His takes have been better. Shooting the ball the other way last night. Kind of thinking about this road trip coming up to Baltimore and Minnesota, possibility of a big trip for Robinson when you see a guy start taking pitches better, and there's his career numbers as a DH. We'll give you a scouting report on Holland and his stuff. Pretty good fastball, about 93, 94. Fastball, slider, changeup, and occasional curveball.
Grounded to second. This could be two. There's one, and there's two. So Cano wraps into a 4-6-3 double play. No runs, a hit, nobody left. We go to the second. To start it, time for today's conversation brought to you by Toyota. Prius is the official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. What do you think about Yankee Stadium hosting 2 outdoor NHL games in January? And James M96 said, I think it's great to see other sports in the stadium. It was great to see soccer. Can't wait for the NHL. That should be fun. I think it's a week before the Super Bowl, which will be in Jersey. Outstanding. Follow Yes Network and tweet us your responses using hashtag Yankees Prius to keep the conversation going. January 26th, Rangers Devils. January 29th, Rangers Islanders. Place is going to be hopping. Very cool. Here's Adrian Beltre. Shows bunt. Takes outside 1-0 as we start the second.
You know, Hockey Arena on TV looks big. It's really not that big, but I wonder how they set this thing up.
Well, that's been such a huge success around the NHL, especially the Winter Classic on New Year's Day. And the Yankees can't host the Winter Classic because of the Pinstripe Bowl. So this is a great solution to that. A couple of outdoor games the same time when the whole country's media is going to be here for the Super Bowl. Great idea. 1-1. Grounded left side. Diving stop. Gonzalez gets to his feet. Fires. Got it.
Well, nice play by Gonzalez going to his left. A normal shortstop playing third base today. Makes it look easy over there. He had some good at-bats last night, too. And another look on the Yes-Mo by Mercedes-Benz. The hot corner, you just react, lay out for it. Nice play, and then the throwing part's easy.
Gonzalez and Nix flip-flop from yesterday. Nix played third. Gonzalez played short.
It's not that easy to change positions. I mean, from short to third to second. I mean, there's the reactions are so different. The reads off the ball are so different. Well, it's kind of amazed me that infielders could do that because I played center field a little bit in the minor leagues, played left field, played right field, and it's even a big adjustment out in the outfield. The ball just comes off. You get different breaks.
Sounds like a broken bat. Right back to Hughes, and Moreland is out for the second out.
Well, that's a good sign. Phil Hughes getting in on a left-handed hitter, breaking his bat.
Paul O'Neill got a little piece of New York today, thanks to our colleague Jack Kerr. We had spoken about it a couple of weeks ago that Paul had never seen a Spalding. We call it in the Bronx Spalding. It's actually Spalding. And Paul, you got it now.
These are pretty cool.
High bounce ball.
I'm taking this back to Cincy. I might start a whole new thing.
This is if my shoulder ever recovers, this is what I'm going to throw to you in stickball.
Man, I'm going to jack you. You know that? I'm taking it right back up the middle.
Oh, so you want to hurt me too?
This is the way the game will end.
Here's the 2-0 to Soto. Pitch is high. Curry knows the way to your heart, though. He also brought you a bag of homemade chocolate chip cookies, too.
Tried them. There's something about the homemade varieties just a little bit better.
Turned him loose on 3-0, and he fouls it back.
That's a true fan, though. You know, bring your family to the ballpark on days you're not doing stuff. Enjoy Yankee Stadium. Kind of what you do on your days off, isn't it?
I have actually come to the stadium one day this year. Soto goes down on strikes. They go down 1-2-3 to the Rangers. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. Brought to you by Montefiore Medical Center Inspired Medicine. How about Michael Pineda coming back? Rehab starts. He's had 3 of them so far. Look at the ERA he's sporting. 0.63, 14 in the 3rd innings, 11 strikeouts, 4 walks. Opponents hitting 164. His rehab window expires July 8th. But the thing that the numbers don't show you that's most impressive, he's keeping his velocity through his appearance. So he'll be at 94, 95 in the 1st inning. And last time he touched 94 again in the 6th inning. So he's coming back from major shoulder surgery, and he could really be a boost to this Yankee team.
Now, Michael, I remember watching him pitch, but what was he before the injury? 95 to 97, right?
Yeah.
Somewhere in that range. So he's right there.
And when you talk to people, they say that still could come back because he's rehabbing from shoulder surgery. But the fact that he's gotten it back to 94, 95, and he's not an 89 guy, that really does bode well. Vernon Wells getting a start against the left-hander, which I think is the situation that he's in right now. Takes inside. The Rangers were in town on Monday. They played Sunday Night Baseball in St. Louis, and it was a long rain delay, but they got in on Monday. It was an off day. As Wells could not hold up. But Derek Holland had a tough off day. He went to see the Counting Crows at the Count Basie Theater in Red Bank, New Jersey, and he got thrown out of the concert because he was standing up, pumping his fist too much, and taking pictures. And he tweeted about it, so it's out there. And then Adam Dirtz, who is the head of Counting Crows, heard about it and said, So sorry, dude. Anytime you want to come to one of our concerts, you could stand and take as many pictures as you want.
Well, isn't that what you're supposed to do at a concert? Yeah. Stand and have a good time and take pictures?
That's what I've heard.
They get chapped when you sit on your hands. Big Counting Crows fan myself. They're good.
Don't stand up and don't take pictures.
Really, I don't want to go to the concerts now that I'm not allowed to stand up.
Adam Duritz is the man, too, because he's dated some of the most beautiful women in Hollywood, and he also pulled off a very rare thing you could do. He dated both Courtney Cox and Jennifer Aniston, 2 friends. It's hard to do that.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a maneuver.
Ends up in a cat fight, doesn't it?
So some kind of fight. Almonte with a drive to right field. Cruz is there, and he'll put it away for the second out. And also, Holland got a little confused at one point in the text. He said, I can't believe they don't allow this in Newark. He wasn't in Newark. He was in Red Bank.
Listen to this. I went to a concert at Riverbend. It's an amphitheater in Cincinnati. And I was there. We were seeing the Goo Goo Dolls, right? My wife likes them. And the drummer I had met before called me back, said, it's great to see you at the concert again and this and that. So I go out, I sit down, and I'm like in the third row, and I'm texting real quick. I got called out. Johnny Bresnick said everybody up, and except for this guy texting down here, and I looked up, it was me.
Oh.
So I stand up, and the drummer's laughing in the background, and all of a sudden my phone starts blowing up from guys behind me. You just got called out by Johnny Bresnick.
That's not good. That's almost as bad as getting thrown out.
Terrible. I should have got thrown out. I felt better about myself.
Pitch to Overbay. Here's a strike from Holland.
That was back before Twitter. I would have tweeted that out.
So you were just texting somebody?
I was, checking on the kids, see what's going on at home.
Squibb toward third. Profar gets Overbay, and the Yankees go down in order. 1, 2, 3. All right, we're going to the third inning. 0-0. Yankees Rangers. Now that you can watch live Yes Network Yankee games on your PCs or laptops with Time Warner Cable. Get a full season of live Yankee games on the go for just $29.99. And if you're a Time Warner Cable customer, go to YesNetwork.com to get more information and subscribe now. Here's David Murphy against Phil Hughes. Pitch outside, 1-0. Lincoln scoreboard. Yankees with a hit. Rangers 6 up, 6 down.
Murphy, one of those guys just going through a tough year. The days he hits the ball well, he had some good at-bats, didn't get any hits. Yesterday he struggled a little bit. 218 average going into today's game. You know he's a better hitter than that. Does have 8 home runs, though.
Yeah, 15 doubles as well, so the power number's not that bad.
reaches out and pokes that one to right field. It's a base hit. First base runner for the Rangers.
Paul, you asked me early on about what can he do to neutralize the lefties, and I said maybe throw your changeup a little bit more, and that looked like a changeup there. The problem, Phil throws 92, 93. The changeup was 86, so not quite enough separation. He had Murphy out front, but he was able to kind of still put the barrel on the ball.
Yeah, that's kind of just like a lukewarm fastball, and you're right. It's not enough to really fool a hitter that much.
Ideally, pitching coaches say you want about 10 miles an hour off of your fastball if you can get it.
Michael, you got all the pitches with this Spalding. Huh? You can throw curveballs, fastballs, everything.
Yep.
You can do it all.
Splitter.
Huh? Yeah,
oh, you got a splitter?
Oh, yeah. You would have no chance against that.
Really?
Yeah. You never liked that pitch going down.
You ever heard that saying, chuck and duck?
Mm-hmm. Bring it on.
You know I'm leaving town. Tough guy.
Here is Jurickson Profar, who is the #1 prospect in baseball according to Baseball America. And he's essentially a utility guy on this Rangers team. And he's essentially a shortstop by trade. And he's can't miss, according to people. And that's why it was very, very unusual that as the season began, the Rangers signed Elvis Andrus to an 8-year, $120 million contract extension. Because everybody thought that Andrus would be the guy that they ended up trading and then sliding Profar in there. But now they've got Andrus signed up for 8 more years and another option year. So what to do with Profar?
Yeah, Profar was playing some second base, and they actually moved Kinsler over to first for a while. Moreland's back now, so he's kind of the odd man out.
Well, it brings up the argument, why would you have him on your bench instead of playing every day somewhere to continue to get better?
And the Rangers now have a decision to make. If there is a couple of holes on their team that they feel they need to fill in order to get to the playoffs and win a World Series, you pick up the phone and you tell the other 29 GMs, all right, Profar's in play. Start the bidding. They would get an unbelievable package back. That's how much respect this guy has around baseball and how much of a can't-miss prospect people think he is.
Flash when you were, just ready to get called up to the major leagues, and then you would think, I'd rather sit on the bench in the major leagues and play in the minor leagues. But now in this position, you look at a kid like this, now that you're out of the game, you understand how much more important it is to get at bats, to get games, to get experience.
Well, the difference with him is I'm sure he knows he's got a big league future for a long time.
Yeah.
So if he goes down, it's only a matter of time before he'll be back. Most guys who make it to the big leagues don't know how long their career is going to be. You enjoy every minute. Would rather sit on the bench in the big leagues and play every day at AAA.
Count 2-2 to Profar. Profar played 37 games at Round Rock, which is a AAA affiliate for the Rangers. 278, 4 homers and 19 ribbies. Battling.
We're talking about amphitheater, Round Rock. This sounds like an amphitheater. Where's Round Rock?
Red Rock, right?
No, I think it's Round Rock. Oh, Red Bank, yeah.
Where is Round Rock?
It's in Texas.
Texas League. One minor league system or league that I never played in. Boy, imagine the heat down there in the Texas League in the summer. And it's always, you talk about Texas when you go down and play in Arlington, but some of those other places are Laredo and places like that are just smoking down there in the summer.
And yet you said the other day you loved hitting at Rangers ballpark.
Oh, it's the best. I mean, again, it doesn't hurt you in any way. Fast infield, the ball carries well, beautiful ballpark. And at that time, not very good pitching. Everything matched up well.
Driven to right field. Long run for Wells, and it's out of play. Now, I was told a long time ago, I wonder if you guys heard, we keep showing people with fans, that actually does not cool you off. That makes you hotter because you're actually expending the energy to move the fan.
I mean, it does blow wind in your face, but if you're worried about expending that energy, Michael, I am worried about you. You know that? If that's a workout for you, we're in trouble.
Wow. Can't wait till you go home today. 3-2. Check swing. Throw to second. Runner is out. They checked the third base umpire. Said he did not swing, so the runner is now at second.
I'll tell you, that check swing looked awful close.
Well, I mean, if the guy walked, what are they doing? He's got to go back to second base. Are they saying he came off the bag? Came off the bag.
You know, and I was watching the second base umpire, Dan Iasonia, and he did not make a call either way until that tag was applied after the fact.
That's strange because Murphy obviously knew he was out stealing the base, but isn't it like a dead ball thing when once he touches the base, then I guess he's safe there. He touches the base.
Because of the walk.
Now he's out.
Now he comes off. Dan Iasonia, the umpire, not making a call either way.
Now the umpires are going to confer. And they're saying he's out. How about that?
See something new every day at the ballpark, don't you, Michael?
Yes, you do. Now, if it wasn't a walk, you could see that he would have been out. It was a good throw by Roman and a very good tag by Nick. See, the glove was between the foot and the bag, so he would have been out if it was not a check swing. Then, for some reason, Murphy continues on off the bag, and that's where he got tagged. So a walk to Profar, but one out.
Well, either way, a nice break for Phil Hughes. First couple of innings have been easy, 6 up, 6 down. A little tougher here in the third.
And if you're scoring at home, it's a walk, and 2-6 is the putout.
You know, it's funny, Flash. I was just watching that Profar, some of his swings, and then, you know, if you were a scout and you didn't have any background on anything, you're just looking at young players. And you watch Martin swing the bat, and you watch Profar. Martin, by far, more bat speed and things, but you know, Profar probably has a little more speed for stealing bases. But just from the hitter's standpoint, Martin really kind of opened my eyes with the speed of his bat.
Yeah, for a couple of games, home runs, bunting for a hit.
Now here's Angel Beltre, and these are his numbers at Round Rock. Good numbers. He was born in the Dominican Republic, but from the ages of 11 to 16, he actually lived in the Bronx. We were told by longtime Rangers radio play-by-play guy Eric Nadel, they attended a couple of high schools in the Bronx. One of them, James Monroe, and the other one, DeWitt Clinton.
You know those, Michael?
Yeah, James Monroe is right where I grew up, and I believe Ed Cranepole went there.
Oh, is that right?
And I also think Hank Greenberg went there, and I know my dad went there. And then DeWitt Clinton, a lot of athletes throughout the years have gone to DeWitt Clinton.
You know this well.
We grew up in the Bronx, Paul. You knew
cool.
Cincinnati well. James Monroe High School, right off Buckner Boulevard. So his name is spelled E-N-G-E-L, but it is pronounced Angel. Runner goes. Line drive, a base hit. And that is his first big league hit. As Profar will go to third, they'll get him that baseball and toss it into the dugout. He made his major league debut last night, got thrown out trying to steal second base. And everybody in the Ranger dugout is calling for the ball. Phil Hughes doesn't know it yet.
I tell you what, if you grew up in the Bronx, what a dream. You couldn't draw it out any better to get your first major league hit in Yankee Stadium.
You know he's got to have a bunch of family and friends here. You always remember your first big league hit, but after the game, going to get a lot of congratulations.
Not a bad pitch, there's not a sharp break on that ball. You know, even in that location, which is a good location, kind of down, there's just not a sharp break on that ball that's going to fool the hitter.
Profar giving him a hand for his first big league hit. And back to the top of the lineup.
Always enjoy watching the bench when a kid gets his first big league hit, because whether you're a veteran or a middle of the road player, you appreciate how hard it is to get here and then finally get that hit. Nobody can take it away from you.
I mean, you do look back at the excitement.
That one is driven out to left field. Almonte makes the catch. Profar tags. He'll score without a throw. Throw comes into second. Sac fly for Kinsler, and it's 1-0 Texas.
There is, I don't care if you're a future Hall of Famer or a guy that stays up for a month, there is something about, you know, the excitement of that first hit. And it just, there's no way to explain it.
We were also told he can really fly too, so we'll see if maybe he's got a stolen base on his mind. You mentioned last night, Michael, he got thrown out.
It was by Romine too. They put him in late in the game.
We really have to start to have the mind wander and think what would have happened in this inning if Murphy didn't overrun second base. You certainly don't know if the same things would have occurred, but can assume something would have happened like that. Here's the 0-1 now as he swings and misses at the first pitch.
Well, that's the fastball that you saw a few years ago that kind of explodes in the, you know, kind of just takes off and guys swing through. It's a good sign for Phil Hughes.
Getting very overcast here at the stadium. The sun has taken a little bit of a break. The flags atop the stadium starting to whip a little bit more, usually an indication of rain on the way. We'll cross our fingers and hope it stays away. The 0-2. 1-2.
The situation here, Andrews up at the plate with a kid who can run at first, and you're behind in the count. You wouldn't mind him trying to steal right here. If he gets thrown out, then Andrews starts the next inning leading off. If he doesn't get thrown out, he's in scoring position.
Tell you what, as a hitter, when you got 2 strikes, if the guy does get thrown out, you're like, thank you. I get a whole new at bat next inning.
Andrews grounds out to Adams, and that will do it. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 man left on base. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. when the Yankees take on the Orioles, the first 18,000 guests in attendance receive an Andy Pettitte figurine courtesy of PC Richard & Son. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Andy struggled a little bit yesterday.
Walking down in the hallway, downstairs in the tunnel, and it was a giveaway night. It was a bobblehead giveaway a couple of years ago, and the pallets and the boxes, 18,000 of those things take up a lot of space down there.
Here's David Adams, one for his last 21. He took a seat yesterday, getting a start at second base today. The Yankees down 1-0 on the Lincoln scoreboard. You got a shot of Andy Pettitte, and you really appreciate this. John brought this up about Hughes as well. There's no BS with Phil Hughes. When he doesn't perform well, he stands in front of his locker, he takes the heat and said, listen, I didn't do well. Andy Pettitte did that yesterday, and you know who else did it? Jabba Chamberlain, who got booed off the mound. And when he was asked about it, he said, I deserve to be booed. I'm not doing my job. People come to this ballpark, they spend an awful lot of money to come to this ballpark, and they expect me to do better. You have to appreciate that. 1-2. 2-2.
I've always found, when I look back at the New York media, and you hear so many stories about how bad the New York media could treat you and this and that, if you come in and own up to it and tell the truth, the New York media really is good. Now, you start making excuses and doing things, to try to avoid them, then they'll bury you.
Well, I'll tell you what, the best way to lose the respect of your teammates is not to own up to it after a game, or completely avoid the media. That will be even worse.
And I mean, owning up to it in your players' eyes, there's not one person in that clubhouse that hasn't had a bad day out on this field. It just, I stunk today, period. Everybody goes through it.
Fly ball to right. Cruz is there. One out.
We even do it up here, Michael. Sometimes you just have a bad day up here.
Absolutely. And you make mistakes.
I think this is one of your better, though. You're on a roll.
You think so?
Don't stop. Don't stop. It's early.
There's Alberto Gonzalez. Now, we tell you about, when I announced the lineup today, I said kind of a different Yankee lineup, different in italics. And the last three hitters in this Yankee lineup today, and you talk about how are they doing it, maybe with mirrors as a ground ball is short. Coming into this game, the last three hitters in the Yankee lineup combined are 28 for 163. That's a 171 batting average. And that's Adams, Gonzalez, and Romine.
With a lot of damage, right?
2 homers and 11 ribbies.
That's tough. And, you've kind of, talked about it. It's almost like the old-fashioned National League lineup where, it's almost a breather.
Yeah.
And, you hope a couple of these guys can come through and have a big day because, it makes it easier on Holland when he looks at that lineup.
And then if you want to extend it, the number 6 batter is Overbay, who doesn't have much success against left-handers. So there's a lot of landing spots there for Derek Holland if he could somehow navigate the first 4 or 5, and that's even including Zoilo Almonte, a rookie. And Joe Girardi was asked today about, well, why are you playing with a short bench? Shouldn't you call somebody up? He said, well, the people we would call up are injured. They're on the DL down in AAA, and Thomas Neal can't be called up again because you have to be down there for 10 days. As Austin Romine picks up a 2-out single.
A couple guys that Joe Girardi obviously knows are going to be a part of this year. Austin Romine and Adams, and they would love to see both of those guys get some hits today, get some confidence. Adams had the day off yesterday. You just wonder as a manager, is it going to help him or is it, going to be like I've been demoted?
Here's Ichiro, singled in the first, 13 for his last 34, 7-game hitting streak, a home run in each of the first 2 games of this series. And there's a strike. Here's the Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile. And since 2009 in the big leagues, Ichiro owns June, 169 hits. That's the best of any big leaguer. And Adrian Beltre right behind him. There's a ground ball to second. Kinsler flips to short. And that's going to do it. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. Let's go to the fourth. 1-0 Texas. Why quit for free help today? For how many teams is Nolan Ryan the franchise strikeout leader? See this young lady right here, Paul and John?
I know her now.
That's Winnie. Bill Bolin, our producer, his mom. It's amazing how nice she is and how different he is. I mean, she's an angel, that woman. Born in the Bronx, lifelong Yankee fan. Winnie.
Could tell. She's excited to be at the game. Pleasure to meet her up here today.
She's not happy right now. The Yankees are down 1-0. It'll be Cruz, Beltre, and Moreland against Hughes. Breaking ball strike.
There's a curveball right there. I mean, that's a swing and miss curveball right there, Flash. I mean, obviously early in the count, Nelson Cruz hit a first pitch curveball from Jabba last night. A little hanger, but you can get ahead with that, throw a little harder in the 2 strike counts.
You know, you mentioned earlier, Paul, about that fastball up that had a little extra life, and that's where he can get some swing and misses, and he's at his best. I've always wondered, what about a 2-seam fastball?
Lined into right center field. It's in there. It splits the outfielders, and it goes to the wall as Cruz picks up a leadoff double.
Because more times than not this year, when we've seen Phil get beat with his fastball, it's exactly what happened right there. 2 strikes up, out over the plate, and it doesn't have enough to get by a big league hitter. So how about a 2-seam fastball to get his eye level off of it maybe, and then you go back trying to elevate it and see if you can get a swing and a miss.
You saw Phil Hughes' reaction, and it was immediate, and it has to do with the location and the movement of this pitch. It kind of just tails over the the outside part of the plate up in the zone. And no pitch at the major league level is easy to hit, but it's a very good pitch to see as a hitter. And it just, you made a mistake.
Getting plunked is Adrian Beltre. 92-mile-an-hour fastball.
Believe me, this is not intentional. You don't want to start a rally. But last night, Adrian Beltre, after that ball sailed over his head, just the stare out there and just next pitch out into right center. This guy right here is a good baseball player. And again, we talked about it last night. Has kind of become the team leader here by just going out and playing the game hard.
Guess it didn't hurt. He's got a big smile on his face.
You know as well as I do, Flash. You play it off. You don't touch it. You do everything, but it hurts. Baseball hits you, and in the late. Anyway, I don't care where it hits you. They say, oh, there's better places. Sure, there are better places. There's no place that doesn't hurt. These Spaldings leave whelps if you get drilled.
They sting.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll find out.
You think Michael can throw one hard enough? He can't throw one hard enough to leave a mark.
Take it. Do I get Ghostman on first and second like when you hit me?
Sure.
Good. So I'm going to take this one for the team. Got to load the bases so I can go grand salami on you. I might even bring John Sterling to announce.
Three-0 to Moreland as Hughes working himself into a big jam here.
This is dangerous stuff, and I know as a catcher, Flash, you can see it happening. You miss with a pitch, it ends up a double, then you hit, and all of a sudden you're 3-0.
You got to believe Moreland has the green light, so you got to make a good pitch down and away with your fastball. Take your chances. Now here is the count if he had an above average changeup or an average changeup. Moreland is trying to do some big time damage. If you could throw a changeup down and away, looks like a fastball, get a ground ball, maybe a double play. We'll see how much confidence Phil has if he wants to go with that pitch.
This is a very hard time for a hitter to not get a little over aggressive and think about really yanking one, especially here in Yankee Stadium, where that changeup you're out front and you roll over it.
Three-one. Fly ball shallow center. Ichiro coming on. He'll make the play. So Hughes comes back from 3-0 to get Moreland. That's a big out.
And it's a good pitch, too. It was that changeup. He doesn't get the double play, but you wonder if it gives him a little bit more confidence to go to it the rest of the game. Just enough off with a little movement down and away.
See where that ball was hit right off the end of the bat. Because, as a left-handed hitter, you want to get that barrel out. You want to try to pull something. The changeup just ends up off the end of the bat. Can't drive it very far.
Soto fouls it off.
Big difference here, and you've got to give your catchers days off, but Soto, you see his average, and Przinsky over a 300 hitter. You're almost catching a break if you're Phil Hughes facing Soto instead of Przinsky here, and you got to take advantage of it.
Soto has had a precipitous drop offensively. In 2008, he won the Rookie of the Year. 285, 23 homers, and 86 runs batted in. But then he had a 218, brought it up to a 280, then 228, 11, 198 last year, splitting time between the Cubs and the Rangers. And now he's at 195. What happened?
Flash, give me a good year for a backup catcher, a true backup catcher who's playing maybe once, twice a week. 225, some damage. I mean, and we're taking into consideration good defense.
I'd say maybe 240.
Okay.
Driven out to center field. Ichiro back. Got a good jump, makes the play. Runners retreat.
But if you're going to hit 240, how about running into a few, maybe 5 or 6 home runs? And if you're going to hit for a higher average, maybe you don't need as much power, but the defense has to be there.
Ichiro gets a good jump on this, but I'll tell you why he makes his play looks easy, because he takes his eye off the ball and runs to a spot. A lot of guys you'll see, just watched the ball the whole way, but his first couple steps, he took off, ran, and then picked up the baseball and made it look pretty easy. The ball was hit hard.
Murphy, 94-mile-an-hour fastball, but outside, 1-0. So Phil dialing it up.
I remember talking to Larry Rothschild about Phil Hughes, and he says sometimes he gets a little mechanical, and you want to get away from that. Just be aggressive and kind of become a little bit more of a thrower and just get a little extra velocity.
I heard the umpire screaming over at the dugout. They're probably yelling, and I think Phil Hughes wanted that pitch too. Big at bat in this game. I mean, we've talked about the Yankee lineup and how it's going to be tough to score runs. Well, Phil Hughes at every opportunity right here. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. You got to try to save these runs. Thing is a scary thing when you see a guy that's kind of due for a hit, and Murphy threw that ball by him.
Fly ball, left field. Almonte is there, and Hughes works out of trouble. No runs a hit, no errors, and 2 big men left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It's 1-0 Texas. How many teams is Nolan Ryan the franchise strikeout leader? So, Angels, Rangers, Astros, I'd say. Wow. Not the Angels, although his number's retired there. Oh, not the Rangers, I'm sorry. But he is the president of the Rangers.
That counts for something, then.
I guess. 1-0 Texas. Jason Nix leads off. Count 1-0. Nix with a fly ball to center in the first.
You tell me something, Mike. You said the sun has gone under the clouds. Well, the lights are on.
Right.
Do the lights help? And do the lights help during the day?
Wouldn't you be the one who's supposed to answer that?
I'm asking you because I never. The only thing it did was bug me because I could lose a ball in the lights now, right, where I didn't have to worry about it. But it's pretty bright out here.
I'm telling you, they're helping me right now in the booth.
Really?
Yeah.
So in other words, I'm not. You're relying on the lights?
You help me quite a bit, Paul, to keep me sharp. 3-0 to Knicks. And the pitch inside, so Knicks a leadoff walk here in the fourth. By the way, the all-time strikeout leader for the Rangers is Charlie Huff. He had 1,452 strikeouts. Nolan had 939.
The old knuckleballer, Charlie Huff.
Nolan ever throw at you, Paul?
Throw at me?
Well, I mean, he had a little mean streak.
He came inside a few times.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I faced him in Cincinnati. It was probably like the first week I got up here, and he was grunting in it. It was pretty intimidating to a kid that just, walked in a major league field. Here's Nolan Ryan. Excuse me, sir. May I ground out and get out of here?
You on the strikeout list?
Oh, I'm sure. More than once, I'm sure.
Did you face him, John?
My rookie year, we had a doubleheader at Fenway Park, and he was scheduled to pitch one of those games, and I was going to face him, and he got scratched from the start.
You think he had Flaherty-itis?
No, I don't think so. I actually was looking forward to being on that strikeout list. I knew I was going to strike out against whoever pitched. I might as well strike out against Nolan Ryan.
Just setting him up for that big double late in the game.
But you were a good fastball hitter. I mean, you might have had some success against him.
Early in my career, my rookie year until I got to Detroit, I had no chance hitting against anybody.
Wow, those are not good stats there, Paul.
See, I felt real good off Nolan. Felt like I was right on everything. God, isn't that terrible?
I had nothing to do with that stat you put up. I know it was a historic home run, guys. Was it like his 4,000th or 5,000th strikeout, Ricky Henderson, who thought it was the neatest thing in the world?
I do remember something like that. I know one, he hit Pedro Guerrero one time in the head and actually just broke the helmet in pieces. Wow. And Pedro Guerrero sent the helmet over after the game and asked him to sign it. Are you serious?
And we just checked it. Ricky Henderson was Ryan's 5,000th strikeout. And then one of the most iconic pictures that you can buy in any memorabilia show is Nolan Ryan giving Robin Ventura the noogie over and over and over again.
You know you're pretty big in the game when the guy comes out there, you horse collar him, beat him up a little bit, and they don't even kick you out of the game. Then you're out there still pitching with blood on your jersey. Huh? That's pretty big, right?
You got to think that Robin Ventura's got to be, if he could do it all over again.
You talked about it. He's so chill. He'll go, I don't know what I was thinking. He's such a good guy, too. You can't imagine that he'd be involved in something like that. All right, so Cano strikes out. Here's Vernon Wells against Holland. Now, Joe Girardi said today that Brett Gardner had a little bit of a cold, but he wanted to give him a day off anyway because he's played every day. And then he was asked, well, does that mean that Wells would not have played today if Gardner wasn't under the weather? And he said he would have played. And I think that Wells is going to find a space in the lineup every time a lefty starter goes. But Joe said right now Almonte's in left field. And he was asked about how's Wells taking this. This is essentially now a veteran platoon player. He said he comes to work ready to play every day. Doesn't complain.
It was actually a little different for him going out there every single day because he's had some breaks the past couple of years out in Anaheim where he wasn't playing every day, so shouldn't be that big of an adjustment.
Well, what got him into this situation when I struck out in the second inning, and he is now 11 for his last 97. I mean, that is a long stretch of not hitting. So he's 0 for 3 away from being a 110 hitter for about a fifth of the season.
Well, Paul brings up a good point, though, about being an everyday player. And you remember when Vernon came over here, he was talking about how much he was letting the ball travel, working with Kevin Long, hitting the ball the other way. And once you get fatigued at the plate and you don't trust that you can take care of some pitches inside, you start jumping a little bit and try to make contact out in front. Seeing a little bit of that from Vernon.
Runner goes, pitches high, throw to second. Not in time. Nix with another stolen base.
This has been a series where base stealers haven't been very successful, but Nix gets a good jump here. You kind of guess a little bit off a lefty. It's in there easily. Soto actually had a pretty good pitch to throw on.
He did.
And Wells down on strikes.
Well, I don't know if we've talked enough about Holland. I mean, he's in the past been a guy mid-90s, and last year he came down with a virus where he lost a ton of weight, struggled a little bit with his velocity, kind of didn't have the year he wanted, put it back over the offseason. He's kind of back up to 93, 94. One of those guys that, you know, in the playoffs and in the World Series pitch very well.
Almonte swings and misses.
That's the pitch I like right there, that slider. You're throwing 93, 94 and can throw a slider like that down and in. You just don't see it from left-handers very often, the velocity and the good break down and in.
Chopped softly to short. Andrews gets Almonte, and that will do it. The leadoff walk wasted as Nix is stranded at second. We go to the fifth, 1-0 Texas. West, the Rangers and the A's essentially tied for first place. They have the Angels 10 back. Mariners 11.5, and the Astros, who are playing better than people thought they would play, they're 15.5 games off the pace.
Well, the only saving grace for the Angels is in your division this day and age, they're going to play the A's and they're going to play the Rangers a lot. So you can make up some ground. But 10 games, a lot to make up. Although it's not even the All-Star break yet.
Here is Jurickson Profar. Now, we've all heard different ways, crazy ways that people get injured. You know, one guy got injured ironing his shirt on his body. Other people have luggage fall on them, lifting their baby. Well, Jeff Baker of the Rangers has one that I've never heard of. He got hurt and had to be put on the DL with a bad hand. because of an overly aggressive high five in the dugout. Yeah. True story. And there's no video of it, and the Rangers will not tell anybody who high-fived him because they don't want this guy to be made fun of. Austin Romine needs an equipment change.
I remember one time we beat Boston. I got a hit, and Mattingly, this was right when I got here, Mattingly hammered my hand, and the next day it actually was sore, and he also like hit me with the bill of his cap. Big gash in my nose. I'm like, Cap, this is beautiful, man. Glad you enjoyed the game so much. You go to the park next day, you look like a hockey player.
Remember when Shelley Duncan was here, the aggressive high fives he did?
Yeah. That's when you went to the fist bump. You know, you could hit fists and not bang up your hand.
Profar hits one deep to right, going back. Wells, trapped, Wall, see ya. Home run for Profar, and it's 2-0 Texas.
Well, Flash, so much for our scouting report and bat speed, because you got a good pitch to hit there. And just that change up in the zone. We talked about it. There's not a ton of difference in the velocity, but it kind of speeds your bat up, and he stayed through it. I mean, and if you want to place a ball in Yankee Stadium, this is where you want to hit it as a left-handed hitter. Out in that right field gap, it seems to be that one area where the ball really jumps. It's in the potato chip section there, Michael.
Third home run for Profar, and the high five's a little less intense. Beltre, Angel Beltre pops one up. Tough sky right now, and Nix fights it into the glove for the first out.
Well, you can see the frustration. The solo home runs are usually the ones that don't beat you. Phil Hughes, you got to kind of keep your attitude the same. Don't be afraid to throw that changeup again. You made a bad pitch with it, fine. Only down by 2.
Just saw the White House Down advertisement on the screen there, Michael. Is that you this weekend? Is that your type of music, the Thrillers?
I like to laugh.
Yeah?
Yeah. I might go see it, though. I'm backed up on a lot of movies, though. I don't know what to see.
You got a list, huh?
List, and we're so far behind. The baby throws a whole, wrench into the whole deal.
Isn't that something, how they change things a little bit?
Yeah, a little.
You believe me now?
Yes, I do.
I'm saving Allie, my daughter. I'm saving a lot of things for her. Prom dresses, kindergarten graduation dresses. Yeah.
That's really nice of you.
Just hope that she's the same size. If you're good, you're golden.
High pop-up. Again, you see Nix shading his eyes. Now he's called off by Adams.
Job by Adams. And all that is a different angle. Adams comes in from a different angle. Sun doesn't bother him.
Some wind up there, too, maybe? Like Nix was camped underneath it. All of a sudden, Adams had to kind of come back and make the play.
And here's Elvis Andrus.
Speaking of fly balls and how many you practice, Flash, you remember the old days when you were a catcher, you would take infield, and everybody would get their throws in, and then you would end infield with the coach trying to hit fly balls to the catcher. And they'd hit a couple in the outfield and whiff a couple, and they'd finally get one straight up for that big pop-up to the catcher.
Kind of infield practice is a done deal, right? You never see that anymore.
I tell you one thing, though, and if I was a manager, you'd have to take infield once in a while. I think it's extremely important for outfielders to make throws to bases, to stay accurate and keep your arm straight. More so than I think infielders, because infielders get a lot of those throws in
during batting practice.
Cano, I mean, he's turning double plays. Those things are just repetitious every single day. But in BP, you can take fly balls, but how often do you charge a fly ball and make a throw to third? You don't do it unless you take infield.
Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. It'll be tagged out by Romine, and that will do it. But the Rangers double their lead with one swing. Jurickson Profar goes yard. Home run for him, 2-0 for the Rangers. by Turkey Hill, the official ice cream of the New York Yankees, and by the Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event. Drive away for practically just your signature. Lyle Overbay takes a first pitch strike as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. We're halfway through. Rangers up by 2.
Got to tell you, Michael, at home, Turkey Hill all natural mint chip. It's awesome.
Really?
Awesome.
So there's no preservative. It's all natural.
All natural. Just sugar, cream, and some peppermint and chocolate. That's it.
Now do you go through a whole carton of it?
Over a week or so. Yeah,
not in one sitting?
Not one sitting. It's not like those little Haagen-Dazs things where you can fire the whole thing down.
One away. So 2 ground balls at third for Overbay, and that's going to bring up Adams. Adams with a fly ball, a fairly deep right in the 3rd inning. He has 1 hit in his last 22 at-bats. After such a great start. Holland has been very economical. That's his 50th pitch of the game. The Yankees not exactly making him work.
Well, you can see Holland's game plan, too, especially against the bottom of the lineup. Get ahead with the fastball. Kind of force these guys to make contact. You mentioned Adams struggling a little bit, coming right at him.
Fly ball, deep right again. Cruz back. And he makes the play right at the wall for the 2nd out.
Flash, those are the ones that kind of break your heart, because right off the bat you think, you know, it might be that great day where the ball really carries and you have such high hopes. Right there, you're just hoping, wishing, come on, and then it just ends with a catch at the wall.
You try to take something positive from that. I mean, he's hit 2 balls well the other way,
that frustrates
and nothing
me.
to show for it.
See, it's frustrating because, you know, when you're a young kid, you want now. You don't want quality at bats. And is there anything worse than to walk back and, you know, you 4 or 5 guys stay with them, good swing, stay right where you are. What do you mean right where I am? I'm 1 for my last 25 now. Yeah, you want results immediate. You know, as you get older, you understand, you know, it will turn around if you feel good at the plate, but try to force things a little bit.
Gonzalez fouls it back.
Well, Holland is really going by the book today. I mean, this is what he does. His fastball has been at 94. Good slider, good curveball, stays ahead. Not one of those days where he's got to, you know, try to figure out how to get outs. He has his good stuff.
High pop-up. A very weird angle for Andrews to take the pop-up, but he does make the play as he tries to angle away from the sun. We played 5 at the stadium. Glasses are on the hat, not on the eyes. We go to the 6th, Texas 2, Yankees nothing. Let's take a look now at the Chrysler hitter scouting report on Nelson Cruz.
Nelson Cruz, 20 for 5 with his 20th home run yesterday, tied a club record for 5 straight seasons. I'm sure he's going to end up with a lot more than that. 2 outs and runners in scoring position. Unbelievable stat. Hitting .424 with 4 home runs and 20 RBIs. Leads the league in that. And 2011 ALCS, he was their star. Set a record with 6 home runs and 13 RBIs versus the Tigers that year.
And the pitch to Cruz. Lined right up the middle, and right there is Adams. Adam played perfectly, 1 away.
It's another one of those at bats flash that you don't feel good because you did everything right. You're wondering what in the world is he playing up the middle for?
Well, I'll tell you what, he's back to what we're used to seeing, and that's middle of the field, right center. The double to right center, that line drive hit the home run last night to left center. A little pull happy early in the series, but he's made an adjustment.
Here's Adrian Beltre, and a strike. Recap the scoring: a walk, and with 1 out, Angel Beltre singled Profar to third. Sac fly by Kinsler made it 1-0. That was in the 3rd. Leading up the 5th inning, Profar with a home run to right, and it's 2-0 Rangers. And the way the Yankees have been scoring or not scoring, the 2-0 seems pretty big. 1-2.
It does. It feels a lot worse than it is, but if you're Phil Hughes and you look up there, giving up 4 hits, 2 runs, got 1 out here in the 6th inning, obviously much better than he has thrown the last couple of starts.
Swing and a miss.
There's 2 big outs there. You got Cruz and Beltre. All of a sudden, 2 quick outs.
Swing for the fences with the new Home Run Derby mobile game from MLB.com. Features include all 24 Home Run Derby competitors from 2010 to 2012, an arcade mode that brings high-impact thrills, and a derby mode that recreates the Home Run Derby tournament. Available on iPhone and iPad. Download MLB.com's Home Run Derby game for free today. Here's Mitch Moreland. There's a strike. Throwing hard, 93-94.
If you go back, I mean, the balls that have been hit hard off Phil Hughes today have usually been with 2 strikes. And that's when, you talk about it, not putting guys away. That's when he's making his mistakes. He gets ahead of guys well. He makes that mistake with 2 strikes.
Those are the average pitch velocities for each of those pitches. Those are seasonal averages. That's a good inning for Phil Hughes. Retires the Rangers in order 1, 2, 3. Go to the bottom of the 6th. Yankees looking for offense. They trail 2-0. a look now at the upcoming schedule, brought to you by McDonald's. The Yankees hit the road after this one, 3 games in Baltimore. And they see Saturday and Sunday, Fox on Saturday and Sunday on ESPN, but Yankee extra innings on Yes. Immediately following those games, Friday it's on My 9. Then 4 games on Yes in Minnesota, and then back home here at the stadium. Here's Austin Romine. Fouls it back. Romine with a single to center field in his first time up.
Could be a big week. I mean, you played Baltimore 6 times in 10 games. Again, going back to playing, head-to-head against the American League East. Very important that you play well in your own division.
Off speed, and he got Romine way out in front. Moreland makes the play for the first out. See how close the Yankees and the Orioles are in a virtual tie. Yankees 2 games back of the Red Sox in the loss column. Rays are right there and the Blue Jays are right there. All 5 teams over 500.
Yeah, these 2 teams are getting better with the Rays. They'll get their pitching back, and the Blue Jays are playing so much better. Boston stayed there. Even without Buchholz, you said he had another setback a little bit in the bullpen.
They're starting a series tonight up in Boston. Jose Reyes back for the Blue Jays. A good series. Let's see where they stand.
Ichiro takes a strike from Holland.
Did you see some of the article today on Kawasaki when he was sent down? That Gibbons actually called a team meeting. It meant that much. When Reyes came back, that he was sent out because he meant so much to the personality of that team.
What a play by Murphy, taking a base hit away from Ichiro.
Yeah, again, Murphy struggling a little bit at the plate. You go back out on defense, you got a chance to kind of redeem yourself in another way. Gets a great jump on the ball, and as a left-hander, see if you could play to the side where you could reach out, not directly in front of you. Makes it a little bit easier play. What did he lose here? Some glasses or a lens or something? What flew? Let's see here in slow motion. All right, go to a different view so I look like a fool. That's all right. Good play.
Here's Nix. Fly ball right field, and that is one easy inning for Derek Holland as he retires the Yankees in order 1, 2, 3. In fact, he's retired the last 9 Yankees he's faced as we go to the 7th. All right, it's time for tomorrow's starting pitchers, brought to you by Verizon Fios, making life more entertaining with America's fastest, most reliable internet that's powerful. This kid can pitch. Kevin Gausman's one of their top prospects, but the numbers have not been pretty so far. David Phelps goes for the Yankees. Our coverage begins at 6:30 on Yes. The game is on My 9. I'd say first pitch right around 7:05, 7:07.
I also saw today that they had Bundy, and the phenom pitcher kind of was going to help out late in the year. He's going to go under Tommy John.
Yeah.
So they've lost him for the year.
Can't miss, they said. That's how good he was. Cadillac scoreboard 2-0 Texas. Soto swings at the first pitch. Both teams are playing this game as if they have a flight to catch. The Yankees in the previous inning went down 1-2-3 on 5 pitches. Not exactly working the count.
You know what? Holland is taking advantage too, just going right at the Yankees. First pitch fastball, see what you can do with it. A lot of routine fly balls. Michael, you love that term, can't miss, right?
Yes. People miss a lot.
They miss a lot.
And even if you take injuries out of the equation, John, they miss a lot.
Yeah, that's such a, it's a science, obviously, these draft picks and this and that, but there's so many even like #1 draft picks. Don't even get to AAA. It's such a gamble in major league organizations, to draft high school kids. These kids are just, what are they going to become? You just don't know.
Swing and a miss. 3 straight strikeouts for the Yankee right-hander.
Phil Hughes pitching a lot better than he has in the past couple of starts, and a good slider down and away, not only going across but going down. Starting to pick up some strikeouts, like you said, Michael, 3 in a row. Third inning was a little rough with 25 pitches. The rest has been pretty smooth. Well, don't you think the toughest thing to scout is a kid's mental makeup? You know, how mentally tough he'll be when he gets to the big leagues, able to handle all the up and down.
Well, that's the thing, and I even saw it the other night when I went to Staten Island to watch my nephew. You come from high school, you're used to hitting 500. Then you go to a major college, you're still hitting 350, 360. Now you're going into a group in the minor leagues where, some other things come into play. You're away, you're playing every single day. You go through big slumps. You don't, you're not always a star. And there's big adjustments going from high school, college, and then, into there. I was right on the top of that, Michael. There he is, Michael.
Mike O'Neill.
Uh-oh. See, Mama and I snuck up there in the booth.
Gave you suite, huh? Nice.
Pretty cool place, I tell you. Minor league ballpark where you can kind of look out across the water over to the city.
That is a sweet shirt, let's be honest.
Really? I borrowed that. I'll tell you one thing, though. To play in the minor leagues and see the city where the Yankees play that close, an inspiring thing to take the field every day.
Fly ball, center field. Now, I don't want to put the guys in the truck in a bind, but, if you look at that video that they just showed, she does it all the time. Meredith was photobombing you.
She was?
Oh, my God, yes.
All over the place?
It's amazing. She does it all the time. Even on Twitter, she photobombs us. It's amazing. You'll see it there. Look, right there, photobombing you.
Wow. The thing is, though, Meredith that was an off day, and she's still at work.
She's a gamer.
Never.
She's a gamer. That must have been, all kidding aside, a little pressure for your nephew that you're there.
I don't know. He didn't have his best of games, but, again, that's to the point. In the minor leagues, there's going to be a lot more ups and downs that you're accustomed to. He's a good little player, but, again, once you get there, you've got to prove yourself against kids that have just as much talent as you do.
Profar pops one up. Nix is there and puts it away. And 9 in a row retired by Phil Hughes. At the end of 6.5, it's time for the 7th inning stretch. Rangers lead the Yankees 2-0, but will stay right here to honor America in the Bronx.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please rise and remove your caps? And please direct your attention to the area behind home plate. And welcome to honored guests of the New York Yankees. United States Marine Corps Corporal Mark Morales, who served in the global war on terrorism, and United States Army Captain Dennis James, who served in Operation Iraqi Freedom. The Yankees say thank you for your sacrifice and service to our nation. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join in Kate Smith's rendition of God Bless America.
Up here at the stadium, Yankees trail 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. And so far, it's been about the pitchers today. Derek Holland's gone 6 innings, just 2 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. And Phil Hughes, 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, allowed 1 home run, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. You give up 2 runs in 7th innings, I mean, the team doesn't have much of a kick coming. It's a pretty good performance as the Yankees try to do something here against Holland.
We had 24, 25 hits last night combined. Look up there, 6 today.
Cano jumps on the first pitch and skies it out of play.
If you're Derek Holland, you might be looking, you see on our Cadillac scoreboard 2-0. You might be looking at this 7th inning as your ball game. You got 3, 4, 5. Already talked about the bottom of the lineup, not the strongest. There's some lefties on the bench for Joe Girardi. Hafner, Gardner.
Did not go.
What, he let that one loose. 95 with a little tail end. Kind of gets that lefty in off the plate. Recognize that you can get in there. That's hard.
Well, he should have plenty in the tank. 63 pitches into the 7th inning. Really hasn't had to work awfully hard this afternoon. Now you wonder in his mind, saying this is the middle of the lineup in the 7th inning. This is my ball game right here.
Our very own Meredith Morakovitz gives me some information that Derek Jeter today ran outside for the first time since the 2nd surgery, so that is good news for the Yankees, and he is certainly making progress.
You're going to throw out another Twitter thing or something.
No. And Cano works a walk. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Now the Yankees one swing away from tying this game. Now, if you want to compare last year on this date, the Yankee lineup was Granderson, Swisher, A-Rod, Cano, Teixeira, Ibanez, Chavez, Russell Martin, and Jason Nix. And that's with Derek having a day off. That one gets away from Soto. Going to second is Cano, and he's out. Oh, that's a bad base running maneuver by Cano to take off and not make it.
Yeah, I think Soto got a break here. The ball hit. Robbie picks it up, but the ball had spin and went right back to Soto, so he was able to come up with it cleanly, bare hand. Flash, you love that when those catchers make plays like that, huh?
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't think base runners realize how hard it is when a ball hits the dirt to come up and throw. You see the throw is low, the tag, it's a bang-bang play, but you're right, the spin on the ball coming right up to his throwing hand costs Robinson Cano. And when you get thrown out in a two-run game in the 7th inning, it does not look good.
Wow. That's how close it was, and the call was an excellent call by Dan Iasonia.
It's a big play right there. You know, anytime you're in a two-run game, you've got the tying run at the plate until Robbie was thrown out.
And Vernon Wells has 3 strikeouts today. 11 for his last 99.
You see that he can just bury that slider down and in. Tough pitch to lay off and a tough pitch to do anything with. Michael, I got a trivia question for you. It'd be impossible at this point.
Okay.
Give me the starting lineup for the Yankees a week from now. It'd be like playing Powerball the way things are going. You know, it's hard to figure out, you know, what Joe Girardi's going to do day in and day out.
And you talk to baseball people that really rely on statistics to analyze things, and they cannot believe the lineup that the Yankees have been running out, that the New York Yankees are 7 games over 500. It really is hard to grasp how they're doing it. As Almonte hits one deep to left, Murphy's back. He's on the track at the wall. He makes the play for the final out of the 7th inning. So Almonte gave it a ride, but it just fell short. No runs, no hits, no errors. Now, nobody left on base. We go to the 8th. It's 2-0 Texas. Now we go to the 8th inning. It's time for the Nissan game summary, brought to you by your local Nissan dealer. 2-0 Texas. Profar solo home run. He scored both runs. Holland has been great. Hughes has been excellent as well. But the Yankee offense has just 2 hits. On the field, temperatures hovering around 100 degrees. And on the Hyundai scoreboard, it's 2-0. Angel Beltre will start it off, 9-1-2. Hughes with 96 pitches so far. And we told you the Yankee lineup a year ago today. And in that lineup is Alex Rodriguez. And today, more stories in the paper about Alex. And some of the stories said that Alex doesn't think that he's ready. Gonzalez knocks it down on the dive, but a base hit. And Joe Girardi was asked, what do you hear? He said, I keep hearing that he's improving, that things are looking good. He said, I'm not in on any phone calls. I have no idea what's right and what's wrong, except that I have communicated with Alex. I've heard from our people down in Tampa that he is progressing nicely. So don't know what the story is exactly, but we'll see if and when he does get back.
All of a sudden, with that base hit, Phil Hughes has got to worry about Beltre. He got speed on there, thrown out last night, but when you're up 2 runs, you can kind of roll the dice a little bit. The problem is you've got the top of the order with Kinsler up.
There's the strike. In the Yankee bullpen, Preston Claiborne came on yesterday to get 1 out.
Flash catchers absolutely call fastball every pitch when they got base stealers on. They got an ego. They want to throw them out. I mean, were you more worried? Obviously, you got to get the hitter. I mean, you just cannot change your whole scouting report because a guy over there can steal.
You can't, but if you have a pretty good idea he's going to run, you might call a pitch that'll be a little bit easier to throw to help your pitcher out too.
That one's popped up. David Adams back on the grass. Makes the play for the first out.
There's so many things that are going through your mind. What pitches does the hitter like to hit? In what counts? How is my pitcher? Can I ask him to slide step? Because some guys, their stuff gets noticeably worse when you ask them to do that. Not that easy, ball.
No. And on the other hand, as a base, I mean, when you're on, you're trying to guess with the catcher. You're trying to pick on breaking balls. You're trying to pitch, go on pitches that have a possibility to end up in the dirt.
The one thing Phil is doing, he's quick to the plate here with Beltre on first base. Makes it a lot easier for a catcher knowing you can call an off-speed pitch if he's quick to home plate, and you still have a chance to help him out and throw a runner out. It's a big lead.
One and one. $102 pitches so far today, averages 95, but he's had a high of 118.
This is a nice start for Phil. I mean, 2 starts ago, he threw 7 innings against Seattle, 3 hits, 1 run, no earned runs in that ball game. But doing it here against the Texas Rangers, a better offensive club, 2 runs with 1 out in the 8th inning, pretty impressive.
1-2 on Andrews.
I hate to say it because Phil Hughes has thrown the ball well today, but sometimes it's easy to pitch when you're behind in a ball game. You just keep it going. You keep it going. There's no pressure, and you got to take from it, because if you look at what has happened, he has put some hitters away today. He's thrown some good breaking balls and good sliders to get strikeouts. Much harder to pitch with a 1-run lead, 2-run lead than it is when you're down in the ball game.
playing catch with Overbay.
His corners have been tight today, Flash. I don't think that there's much called off the corners today.
Jerry Davis behind the plate. That's a pitcher's pitch. That's what, about 3 inches, 4 inches off.
Well, the problem with that is he hit the glove, but Romine set up off the plate away.
Grounded to second. Adams to second one. On to first. It's a double play. That is a strong 8 innings for Phil Hughes. Adams to Nix to Overbay to the bottom of the 8th. Brought to you in part by the Toyota Prius, official hybrid vehicle of the New York Yankees. Well, Derek Holland has made it look easy as the Yankees just have 2 hits. Austin Romine single to center, and Ichiro led off the game with a single to left. That's it. The Hyundai scoreboard: Texas 2, Yankees nothing.
When you got a guy throwing like this, you look at that Texas bullpen. Looks vacant. It doesn't even look like anybody's walking around or even stretching out there.
I'm sitting here thinking, too, what does Joe Girardi do? I mean, he's got a couple of hitters on the bench, Hafner and Gardner, but they're both left-handed. Do you take a shot at some point, go left on left, or do you just sit and ride this out?
Yeah, this is one of those days where, you know, you're giving guys days here or there because you have to, and it's just, sometimes you just got to face it. You know, the guy's got good stuff. He's a good pitcher. We're getting shut down. You know, to make a move just to make a move sometimes just isn't the answer.
And if there's a one swing of the bat opportunity, maybe Hafner gets a chance.
Yeah.
.75 pitches.
And Overbay swings and misses, so he is 0 for 3. And now Holland gets to approach the bottom of the order, which I don't think really scares him. You got Adams, Gonzalez, and Romine, although Romine has one of the 2 hits.
It's kind of a catch-22 here when you talk about, you know, 75 pitches and, you know, what are you going to go up and work the count? I mean, he's throwing strikes and he's got good enough stuff to put you away. So you don't want to dig yourself a hole. You saw that a nasty slider to Overbay. So as a left-handed hitter, you can't go up there and just take early in the count because you don't want to be, you know, caught in that situation with 2 strikes.
Kyle McClellan begins the throw. And that's almost got to be Pavlovian by Washington. I mean, this guy's in no trouble. Why would anybody be up?
That might be a guy that's not going to be used today. Just wants to throw a little bit.
If you want to get any good sign out of today's offense is that Adams has hit 2 long fly balls to right. He is 1 for his last 23, but seems to be a little bit more aggressive, bat a little quicker today.
Comes that slider you were talking about, Paul. Good put away pitch for him.
Been successful with it all day. I don't know why you'd go away from it.
Fastball in, it looks like.
Damn it. And he missed his spot, but Adams swings and misses anyway. 2-away. To vote for the Chevy Player of the Game, visit votechevy.com. Results will be revealed in the post-game show.
Yeah, unless things change, you might be looking at him right there on camera. You feel pretty good about yourself when you hear you kind of let go of a scream after that pitch. He missed his location totally, but good enough stuff to get a strikeout.
Now, this is one of the age-old questions. Is this Holland, or is it simply an anemic Yankee offense that would have a hard time with anybody? And it's got to be a combination of both, because Holland looks great, but we told you before the game what this lineup looks like, and that one's popped up to Kinsler, and the Yankees go down in order. Yankees aren't offering any resistance to the left-hander Holland as we go to the 9th.
WB Mason postgame. Bob Lorenz and Ken Singleton recap all the big plays from today's game with highlights from around baseball, plus Meredith Marakovitz gets the clubhouse reaction and Joe Girardi's manager's report. It's got to be a tough day for a manager report. It's a WB Mason postgame only on Yes.
Well, we have a pitching change, and this call to the bullpen is brought to you by AT&T. It's going to be Preston Claiborne, who had an appearance last night. Got 1 out. Excellent numbers, 1.52 ERA. Taking over for Phil Hughes, who had 8 innings, a couple of runs, a very, very solid performance.
Yeah, there's days as a pitcher, they got to be frustrating. You have good stuff, you give up a couple runs, but you shut down a pretty good team with probably the better outings you've had all year, and you leave down 2-0.
1-1 count on Cruz. One and 2. Cruz, Beltre, and Moreland 3, 4, and 5 against Claiborne, and the righty deals. Check swing, 2-2. And the pitch. Foul back here. On a hot, steamy Thursday afternoon, 42,138 here at the ballpark.
Oh, you don't see that much. Nelson Cruz is kind of an emergency hack. Foul off a breaking ball that you're fooled with and kind of out front.
First game and a half of this series, he was trying to pull everything, and now he's gotten back where at least he could foul that pitch off. He had no chance the first game with a slider in that location.
Much more dangerous hitter when he stays to right center field, because he'll still, you saw last night, pull that breaking ball, the one that Jabba hung. But he has so much power to right center, which in this ballpark, look at that, Michael K. I saw a sign over there with your name on it.
Really?
Large.
2-2.
Oh.
And that got Nelson Cruz.
So it sounded like it might have got the knob of the bat a little bit too.
Yeah, there's been a couple pitches. It's Beltre and now Cruz up and in.
Whoa.
Yeah.
See the bat vibrating there.
Wow. That's weird, huh?
Where did that get him? It looked like it got the knob of the bat.
It got the bat first. You wonder if it would have been foul ball, right?
Like a grazed.
Yeah, hits the bat first.
Even if it hits his hand afterwards?
I think it looked like it grazed his finger. See that pinky come up?
I don't know, Paul.
It looks like, I tell you what, the bat thing is what I'm just.
Oh, it's vibrating?
Yeah, look at that thing just shaking away. Scared.
He's got a smile on his face. I frankly don't think he got hit.
Smile on his face because he had 2 strikes on him, and now he's got hit by a pitch.
And a strike to Beltre. Fouled away.
Oh, see that?
He's done. He doesn't even want to lift that.
It's probably above his head in the first inning.
He
huh?
is so done.
Flash, you're below the seat there. We used to be able to see your name on that sign. You used to hit with sunglasses at all.
I tried.
I don't understand how guys do it. It kind of messes with your depth perception. You play the outfield with them and you're in the field. I never understood how guys hit with them.
You know what I had a problem with was the nose piece. You know, when you're kind of turning to look at a pitcher, you didn't feel comfortable.
That one is grounded to Adams. There's one, and there's two. Now, if you're looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, it's going to be 9, 1, and 2 in the Yankee order: Romine, Ichiro, and Nix.
See Beltre out in front a little bit. Claiborne gets exactly what he wants, a ground ball, easy double play ball for Adams. Michael, we talked about it early in the series. You know, it just seems like one of those lazy days at summer of at the ballpark, but that's, wow, grounded hard over in the camera well. It has a lot to do with offense. I mean, and people have, you know, it's hard to really get involved and cheer and get up and be loud with no offense at the ballpark.
The 0-1 to Moreland. 0-2.
To the youngster. Good job.
He just made his day.
Thinks he goes home happy, right? Tell all his friends that he nabbed a liner over there. Ball boy didn't give me that. I nabbed a liner over there. Michael, you used to tell me you never got a foul ball. You used to bring your glove out here as a little kid?
No, because I used to sit, honestly, the last row of the upper deck behind home plate.
You didn't think you were getting one up there?
I knew I wasn't getting one up there. Squib the other way. Gonzalez charges, bare hand, fires, not in time. Moreland beat it out.
Well, I tell you what, when you get a hit like that as a hitter, you go back and just think, you know, that's just as good as a line drive in the box score, boy. Those are the breaks of hitting right there. You get cue a ball over there, just in the right spot. No.
I was just thinking that he's coming up here with 2 outs, nobody on, last game of the series, looking forward to getting out of town maybe with a win. And now he picks up an infield hit, and that flight back home just got a little sweeter.
There's Giovanni Soto, who is 0 for 3.
Now, I know you always say, Paul, never give away a big league at bat, that they're really valuable. These are the tough ones at the end of a game.
Oh, yeah. You start thinking about, you know, I got to pack my stuff.
Right.
We're going to get on a plane,
Yep.
this and that. And it does enter your mind, but you really have to realize that this at bat leads in tomorrow. You know, if you make an out, you make an out. But when you give away it at bat, you're frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Claiborne not shy about coming inside with that fastball.
I'll tell you what, that ball, you could tell right out of his hand, he kind of got to the side, and that was going up and in. So those are the ones as a hitter, as you start seeing those seams coming at you. You're going to wait around to see where it ends up.
Soto not afraid to throw his head down in there either, lean out over the plate.
Yeah.
Little open stance.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Fouled it off.
That open stance, you kind of close, but it still keeps you open where you can handle that inside pitch. That's a weird thing, too. A lot of hitters, you know, by opening their stance, they get 2 eyes looking at the pitcher instead of, you know, a lot has to do, don't want to get too deep, but what eye dominance you are. And, you know, sometimes you've got to open up to see the ball better.
Swing and a miss. Soto down on strikes. No runs a hit, no errors, 1 man left. Do the Yankees have a rally in their bones? They're down by 2. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Visit Jeep.com to learn more. By Centerlight Healthcare. Centerlight, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. And by your Tri-Honda dealers. Hurry your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2013 CR-V. Not much to take pictures of today. Just 2 hits for the Yankees. Well, you got your first Yankee game. Now, I don't know if you're going to get that second check unless the Yankees rally right here. As the Yankees send up Brett Gardner to pinch hit for Austin Romine, who has one of their 2 hits. Derek Holland still on the mound. He has been outstanding. Just 82 pitches through 8 innings. And a strike. And now he throws 95 miles an hour in the 9th inning.
Got to realize in the 9th inning he's on an 83rd pitch. Feels like he's in the 6th right now.
He's been very hot in June. Today was a game that he did not start.
Tough at bat coming off the bench, but if you know, this is a move that we talked about. Make a move. You have to make this move. Brett Gardner, a leadoff hitter. You've got to try to get something started. Lefty on lefty, but he's been hot.
He doesn't have to hit a ball hard either. Possibility of an infield hit, just put it in play.
Strike 3, Gardner.
Wow.
Goes
like
down looking.
Pinch hit, you're not real comfortable, and then you get a strike 3 called right there. Out of the zone, down and in, down. It's just something you can't deal with.
Joe's been barking a little bit with Jerry Davis today. The glove is up and the pitch is down. Wow. Wow.
It's trick photography from the side because that ball's low.
Down.
There's Ichiro. Oh, 0-1. Throwing harder this inning than he has all game.
It smells the finish line.
Talked about Ichiro kind of cheating a little bit, looking for pitches to drive in certain situations. This isn't one of those situations. Home run does you nothing. You're better off, you know, using the whole field, just trying to get on base. Your normal swing, shoot one to left.
Fly ball, shallow center. Beltre got a late jump, but runs it down for the second out.
Coach Girardi's still shaking his head over that pitch to Gardner. You know, looking down back, you can almost, it frustrates you. You can almost get over, you know, you miss a pitch, first strike or second strike, but when you're called out, you know, the at bat's over. You don't have a chance to battle back.
Here's Jason Nix. Yankees down to their final out. Count 1-0. Last complete game a couple of years ago against the Blue Jays. He has 5 complete game shutouts. The last complete game shutout a couple of years ago. The 1-0. Driven deep to left field, but foul.
This is Ron Washington's dream. I mean, they come in here for a big series against the Yankees, and they were in the bullpen the first couple days. Shepard's threw both days. Cox threw both days out of the bullpen. To have your lefty go out there and 1 out away from a complete game where the bullpen wasn't even up, getting loose.
.96 miles an hour. That's his fastest pitch today. And Nix thought that was too high.
Yeah, low on Gardner, and this one a little bit high. Jason Nix not happy about the call.
Jerry, to me, has been kind of tight on the corners today, but this 9th inning, he's kind of been up and down.
That one's driven out to center field. Angel Beltre puts it away, and the Yankees go down meekly. And a complete game shutout for Derek Holland. He gets thrown out of a Counting Crows concert on Monday, and the Yankees can't knock him out here on a Thursday. They couldn't do anything against him, just 2 hits as they lose this one 2-0. Well, you got to stick around for the postgame show to find out who's today's Chevy player of the game. Want to see how frustrating this has been for the New York Yankees and their manager? Well, Joe Girardi was fired up for sure. And you can see he's thrown in the towel. It was not a good matinee for the New York Yankees. Could get nothing going. We'll come back.